Hello, my name is Chris Hammond. I'm the Director of Training here with DotNetNuke Corporation. In this brief video, we're going to talk to you about creating users within DotNetNuke. We're going to show you how you can create users, how you can edit users, and how you can delete users. And we're going to be using an administrator account to do this. So I'm going to switch over here to a DotNetNuke installation. It's running DotNetNuke version 5.6.1, and you can see I'm currently logged in as an administrator. Now from here, if I want to create users, I can navigate to the Admin User Accounts page. Now I can also find that page by going to the Admin tab in the ribbon bar control panel, and there's a Users option there. Now from the control panel, there's also an Add User option. If I go ahead and click on that, that's going to take me to the interface to add a new user. Now when you're creating users in DotNetNuke, you can go through and define a couple of properties about that user. So we're going to be able to go in and define a username for this user. We're going to call this first one test user. Now we'll also define a first name and a last name for the user, and then a display name. Now typically a display name would either be something similar to the username or a potential combination of the first name and the last name. For now, I'm just going to reuse my username. And then I'd need to put in an email address. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in a fake email address, because I have SMTP running locally, but it's a test SMTP server. So any email that gets generated by DotNetNuke is not actually going to go out. It's just going to be caught by that test server. So I'm creating an account with an email address of test@change.me. Now as an administrator, when I create that account, I can mark them as authorized. That means they will be able to log into the website immediately. I can also notify the user. That will send the user an email. Now, based on the information I just said, where we're not actually using an SMTP server that will send out emails, it just catches them, that email will not actually be sent to that email address. But I do want to notify typically when I'm creating someone's account. You especially want to notify someone if you're creating an account for them and you're choosing to give them a random password. Otherwise, you're creating an account with a random password and you don't know the password, you can't provide that password to the test user. So for now, we'll leave notify checked, and we can either use random password or we can define a password. Now in my scenario, I'm going to go ahead and define a password for this account. So as the administrator, I've populated this information, and if I go ahead and click Add New User, that's going to create this new test user account on our DotNetNuke website. Now at this point, that doesn't give them any access to the website, but we can go through and assign roles and permissions, and we'll do that in future videos. So we're now redirected back to the user accounts page, and you can see the two accounts that exist on our website: admin, the one we're logged in with, and test user. Now we can also go over here to the test SMTP server that I have running, and I'll pop that up here, and we can see that there are now two messages. So there was one message before we started this video. Now that we've generated the account for this user, we now show two messages that show up. Now there's other ways to create users on a DotNetNuke website, and I'm going to go ahead and log out of the website now as the administrator and just navigate back to the home page. Now because we have registration turned on our website, we can allow users to create their own accounts. So if I click on the register link, that's going to allow a user to go through and populate their account information. So I'll create a second test user account. And then define a password. Now because of the way registration is currently configured on this particular DotNetNuke portal, as soon as someone creates an account, they're automatically logged into the website. And I can tell I'm logged into the website because where it once said register, it now shows my username. Now I don't have access to the control panel. I don't have access to any additional pages except for the articles page. And that's because we haven't configured any permissions for the additional accounts on our website. But if I go ahead and log out and now log back in as the administrator, as the admin, if I navigate to the user accounts page, I should see three accounts listed: admin, test user, and test user 2. From the user accounts page, you can also edit existing users or delete the users. To edit a user, you click on the edit pencil next to that particular account. That will take you to the interface to allow you to come in and change the first name, the last name, display name, and email address for a user. You can also delete a user from this screen. Now in .NET 5.6.1 and earlier versions, when you delete a user, they're actually soft deleted. They're not completely removed from the website. In the next release of DNN 5.6.2, you'll see a feature where you can actually go through and do hard deletes and manage those soft deleted users. From here, we can also manage the roles for a user. We can manage a password, and we can also manage a profile. So if we wanted to come in and we needed to change a password for a user, we can come in and click on Manage Password, and that will allow us to create a new password for that user. We can also reset a password, which will generate a random password for that user, and then email that information to them. Now, if you want to delete a user, you can also delete them from the user accounts page by clicking on the red X. And we'll talk about managing roles, which is the lock icon, in a future video. Now, if you want to control the registration process within DotNetNuke, you can do so from the Site Settings page. So if we go to the Admin Site Settings page, we're going to find a site setting in there that will allow us to control who can create accounts on the website. So under Advanced Settings and under Security and then the User Registration setting, we have the ability to choose None, Private, Public, or Verified. None means the account registration links will be disabled on the website. Administrators can create accounts, but standard users, visitors of the website, will not be able to register an account. Private means that anyone can create an account, but they're not going to be able to log into the website until an administrator authorizes them. Public means anyone can create an account and they're automatically authorized, automatically able to log into the website with that new account. And then verified, finally, is the setting I will typically use on most websites. That is going through and allowing a user to register, create their own account, but they can't actually log into the website until they receive an email from the server that provides them a verification code. Now that verification code is going to basically be used the next time they try to log in. .NET will prompt them for that code. Without the code, they will not be able to log in. So it's a way for you to verify that users are providing valid email addresses when they register on your website. So that's all we're going to cover in this particular video. In future videos, we'll go into more details on managing users and controlling the registration forms and profile properties for users. In the meantime, I'd encourage you to check out our .NET training page. You can find more information about our training under the training page under resources at .NETNuke.com. From there, we have links to a variety of free videos, as well as information about our instructor-led training and our custom on-site and online training offerings. Again, this is Chris Hammond with .NET Nuke Corporation. Thanks for watching the video.